All right, Kate. So to start off, just tell us what schools you went to.
So I went to a couple different schools in Michigan, and then we moved to Kentucky, but I actually went to school in Ohio, so we crossed the state border every day. So that was kind of cool. And then I also went to, when we moved out to Colorado, I went to Boulder Country Day from 4th grade to 8th grade, and then Silver Creek.
What, you said that you crossed a state border every day?
So I crossed the state border, so over the bridge that kind of, I don't know.
Connects the
connects Kentucky and Ohio, so.
Was that a normal thing to do at this school, or was this just what you did?
No, that's just what we did. And I remember my mom and we would like kiss the bridge every time we went over it. Is that weird? Is that weird that we like did that?
No,
I don't know. We do like air kisses every time. We'd say, "Good morning, bridge," or "Good night, bridge," just depending on like the day. Isn't that weird?
How far was the commute? Like, how long did it take you guys?
Probably like 25 minutes. So it really was not that bad, but we just crossed the state border every day.
Well, why would you go to a school that's in another state?
I don't know. It was like 1st grade, so.
Okay.
Not sure. Oh, I also went to Shiny Mountain Waldorf School. I forgot about that one.
Was that here?
Yeah.
In Colorado?
Uh-huh.
When did you move to Colorado then?
I moved here 11 years ago.
11 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Was it in like the middle of school, or did you just like at the end of the school year? And then
At the end of the school year, we would always wait out the year and then we'd move. But it was always for my dad's job, so.
Your dad's job?
Mm-hmm.
What does he do?
Well, he used to be in the automotive industry, and then he moved to construction, so he was managing, he's in management and a scaffolding company. And so, but actually his job was based out of Seattle, so it's kind of sad actually. I wouldn't see him except on the weekends because he would always commute from Colorado to Seattle. So I only saw him on the weekends.
Does he still do that?
No, actually, so I don't know if I can say this like on camera though.
What?
Well, he sold the company, and so like management got switched up, and so he is actually looking for another job right now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, sure. So what I would think you were most known for here was your horseback riding and dressage.
Horse obsession.
Yes,
Yeah.
Obsession would be a better term. How and why did you get into horses of all things?
So, I remember the first time I was introduced to it. It was actually a play date. So I think I was
a play date?
2nd grade. Yeah, 2nd grade. I went on a play date with this boy named Noah, and he took me to his riding barn, and because his mom had a horse there, and so. Yeah, so we went to the barn, and I remember they had these 4 little minis. There were 2 mini donkeys and 2 mini horses, and they let us play with them. And from then on, pretty much, I know that my mom talked to my friend's mom, and we just kind of started weekly lessons. And I started out on this little Shetland pony, and then just kind of grew into an obsession.
So this kid, Noah,
Yeah.
in 2nd grade, basically owned a horse.
So his mom owned a horse. So his mom took us out to her barn as our first play date.
And this was normal at this elementary school you went to? That
Yeah,
these kids
Shiny
owned?
Mountain Waldorf School, it's a little different.
Obviously.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it was just a fun play date. It was just something for us to do, and it kind of just turned into an obsession.
Well, what made you want to continue it? Like, what is it about horseback riding?
It's so hard to explain, quite honestly. I don't know. It's my passion, and I love them, and I love riding more than anything. And I remember, I was riding, I had my weekly lessons, and then the older I grew, the more responsibility I had. So then I started leasing my first horse, and it was just like this little one-eyed pony. And I got to show him. He's like 28 now, which is crazy. And yeah, I don't know. It just it stemmed from there.
Just from a play date?
Mm-hmm.
So now moving more into your time here at Silver Creek.
Oh my God, can I please talk about Palermo just a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
You can talk about whatever you want.
Okay.
Who is Palermo?
Palermo is my baby, and not my actual baby, my horse baby. So, pretty much how I got him, I was working for this German trainer. Her name is Petra, and her business is selling and then reselling. She'll get imported horses and then she'll train them up and resell them. And so this horse came in from Texas, and I fell in love with him right away. And at that time, I wasn't riding one specific horse. I was riding just multiple people's horses, so I didn't really have a one specific one. But this horse, he had a couple of health issues. So he had colic surgery, it's pretty much like a stomach ache, but horses can't throw up, so it can be really, really bad, so it can be fatal. But he had some surgeries just to try and fix that. And then he also had kissing spine surgery, which is, so the bones in his spine were too close together. There wasn't enough cartilage, so what they had to do is they had to cut it open and file down each part of the bone. So these are really big surgeries, and
Wow.
So it made it really hard for people to want him, pretty much. It was hard to sell him. So the owners actually down in Texas knew how much I loved him and gave him to me for free.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then I showed him all this season. We did really well. We got champion in both third and fourth level, and then I actually competed with the the trainers and stuff. I competed in that level, and I won third level actually, and then for fourth level we got third.
Wow.
So out of everyone.
And this was this year?
This year, yep. And our awards banquet was actually just a couple weeks ago, so.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So,
congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you. So it's been a really, really awesome experience. And
well, so, I don't have an obsession with horses, so I can't connect like you seem to be able to, but how do you develop a connection with a horse? Like a dog or a cat, I could kind of understand.
Right. It's so hard to explain. I feel like it is kind of like a dog, but it definitely depends on the personality of the horse. So actually, when Palermo was down in Texas, the trainer used to beat him in the head and everything. So yeah, it was a very abusive kind of situation. And so the more time that I spent with him, the more he began to trust me, and you can just kind of feel that. And now, every time I call to him now, he answers me, he nickers at me, and he only does that with me. So it's just it's really hard to understand, but it is kind of like a dog, where you're just kind of building that trust, and they rely on you, and you kind of rely on them for emotional support, I guess.
Well, have you been able to, any of the skills that you've learned while horseback riding, is that something transferable that you can then apply to everyday life and possibly future careers?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So dedication. I'm out there every single day, and I work my butt off too. So actually, I was up in Evergreen over the summer. I lived up there because my trainer moved barns. So I lived up there. The groom actually quit. So Petra's groom quit, and so I had to take pretty much full responsibility for her entire operation. So what would happen, I would get up, be at the barn by 7:30 every morning, and then groom Petra's 9 or 10 horses, and then I would ride my 4 horses every day. So
wow.
While trying to manage the barn, and because Petra was more focused on the business side of it, and so I was kind of more in the background, just making sure all the horses were taken care of. We had probably 25 horses on property, so I was in charge of all of them, which is really cool. And it taught me responsibility. It's taught me, that working hard, because if I hadn't worked hard for Petra, I would not have had Palermo, so it's just,
sure.
I've learned so much from it, and it's been really great. So
well, what about what about unhorse related topics? What sort of
those? No.
what sort of experiences have you gotten to take part in during your tenure here at Silver Creek?
So I am involved in SCLA. Doing my capstone project right now, which is fun. I'm also, I did volleyball for 2 years. Well, I've done volleyball since like 4th grade, but played my freshman and sophomore year here, and then I actually got a back injury, and I kind of had to choose between like horses or volleyball, and obviously that's which one I chose. Let's see, I'm in RLC this year. And then I go to the PSA meetings also, which is cool.
What about some more sort of outside of school things that you do after school? Like, what are when you leave campus and you're not horseback riding? What are you typically doing?
God, that's so hard. That's literally my life. Hang out with friends, hang out with family for sure. I try and work out. I really try.
Yeah.
So I just joined a gym, so that's exciting. Rally sport down in Boulder, which I'm trying to do. Honestly, my life is riding. That's what I do. It's kind of embarrassing, but.
Well, what are some of like the stories that you've gotten to take part in while you're hanging out with friends after school?
Do you really want me to go there?
I would love you to go there.
Okay. Should I tell my knee story?
I don't see a problem with it.
After it's so bad.
Here, we can hang on one second. Okay. After talking the story over a little bit, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with the story. So go ahead. What happened to your knee? How did your knee get dislocated?
Okay, so sophomore year, I invited 3 of my friends over, and we were all just hanging out, and we were down in my basement just hanging out, and I have a really cool ping pong table, and so two of them went to go play ping pong, and my other friend and I were just hanging out on the couch, and this happened, like, it was a couple hours, whatever.
Mm-hmm, sure.
And so then, they were all getting ready to leave, and so I was just sitting on the couch, and kind of as a joke, one of my friends jumped on me to try and like tackle me. I don't know. It was just like, and he actually dislocated my knee.
God.
So, and then they all left.
They left you?
They left me there with a dislocated knee. None of my parents were home.
They just left you behind.
They left me behind. And it was, oh my God, I'm glad that I can laugh about it now because it was not funny at the time.
Did they even like acknowledge that you were in pain or anything?
Yeah, they all knew. They tried, I guess, I don't remember this because I guess I was like passing out because it hurt so bad. But apparently they all tried to lift me up onto my bed and they dropped me.
Oh my God.
On my dislocated knee because I was squirming around because it just hurt so bad. And so then they all left, and my mom gets home, and she's like, what happened after? Oh, and then she called the ambulance, and then I had to ride in the ambulance with my, with my dislocated knee, and I had to get it
Located?
relocated at the hospital, and...
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was so bad.
That's crazy.
But it was like it was very clean. Like all I had to do was knock it back. So, I mean, he must have just hit it right at I don't know how it happened, but I just remember it hurt and then it started hurting more and more and more and I got super freaked out. And then they all just left. And yeah. It was a really bad situation.
Something more involved with the school. We are, pretty actually, no. So if you don't have an answer for it, that's fine. We're pretty. Our group of seniors is pretty. We can get riled up pretty easily, as I'm sure you've witnessed. Do you have any memories of like assemblies and stuff where something went wrong, or we decided to mess with whoever decided to take time out of their day?
Well, okay, so it was not an assembly, but I remember that Cole pulled the fire alarm.
Cole pulled the fire alarm?
Yeah, and he got suspended.
When did he pull the fire alarm?
I have no idea. I can't remember. But, no, I remember that, yeah, he told me that he pulled the fire alarm. And it was at school, too.
Do you remember, do you remember going out, like, and doing the whole fire drill when he did it? Or did
No, it's just like, I honestly didn't know that he did it at the time. He just told me after.
You just followed the crowd and then found out later?
Yeah, and he got suspended like little Cole Eckert. That's so funny. Let's see, what else? Help me out here. I don't...
what about like the Jostens assembly, the ECT assembly, AP assembly, any of the pep rallies really?
Well, okay, so in this past assembly, Jordan Carter was supposed to shoot the free throws.
The winter.
Yeah, the winter pep assembly deal.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan was supposed to throw the free throws against Finisted, but she got too nervous and made Megan Harris do it, and just like sat there. So
was Megan any good?
Do you remember? I mean, she made all of them, and Finisted beat her. No, it was, hey, props to her. That's awesome. I can't nail any free throw or any 3-pointers or whatever. And I played basketball for like 4 years in middle school, but still.
So to close out, we talked briefly about how certain things you've learned from horseback riding and stuff, but in terms of like your career and what you want to do, what in horseback riding is such a specific skill set.
Yeah.
What do you want to do after high school, and how have the things that you've learned and the skills that you've developed through horseback riding going to contribute to that?
So this has actually been kind of an internal debate for a really long time. I would love nothing more than to go out to Florida and ride expensive horses all day long. But, in order to do that, you have to be able to, I hate to say this, but kiss a bunch of rich people's butts all day long. And because, you have to have sponsors, you have to have people with money and enough interest to be able to make a business out of it. And I see my trainer, she's struggling financially. I've seen every trainer that I've ever been with, and Petra's by far the best. And even still, like, she rides 13 horses every day, and it's still kind of a struggle. So what I initially decided was, well, eventually I came to the conclusion that I was going to go to college and always, Palermo would come with me wherever I go, and kind of just keep it as a hobby for now. And I'm going to go into college trying to study, I'm going to study marketing and advertising and public relations and that kind of thing. Or journalism and like broadcasting, which is cool to me, but I haven't decided yet. Anyway, and I feel like if I really have like that burning passion to go and ride horses for the rest of my life, like, I'm going to make it happen. But until then, if I find something that I love, if I love, marketing, advertising, I figure just try and make a bunch of money off of that, and then just, have a couple of horses on the side to support them. So that's kind of what I came to.
Great. Well, thank you, Kate.
Yes.
Enjoy your horseback riding, I guess.
I will. I'm headed there now, actually. So.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kate.
Yeah, of course.